Oh, I've got another email from Kelsey. She was the one who had put herself in a corner. Well, she says, I'm still in the corner. She says, Nik Kershaw filmed the video for I Won't Let the Sun Go Down on Me in Hammersmith Odeon, she says. I was at a convent school in Sunbury at the time, and we were told that we could all go up there for the filming. What a day. Good times. Floor dry, she says. So we're talking about Nik Kershaw. So I'm going to play his latest record. He hasn't had a latest record for quite some time, but he does now. It's an album called Oxymoron, and a track from it is called From Cloudy Bay to Malibu. And after this, we're going to speak to Mr. Kershaw himself. And it took me quite some time to work out what that song was about, From Cloudy Bay to Malibu, but I think I get the drift of it now, and I'll drink to that, and I'll drink to the fact that Nik Kershaw, who just made that, is on the line now. Hello, Nick.
Hi, Robert. How are you?
Yeah, very good indeed. So it's a song about drowning your sorrows.
Yeah, pretty much. That's exactly what it is, drinking your way around the world.
It's been, 8 years since you last made an album?
Yeah, it's 8 years since I last came and saw you, I think. Yeah. That's pretty much it. What can I tell you?
I mean, it takes me a very long time to write books, which I do about once every 10 years. But
yeah.
So is it simply,
Yeah,
was it just kind of waiting for new songs to arrive or what?
Yeah, it was. I mean, I didn't have a sort of record label breathing down my neck or anybody kind of giving me a kick up the backside. So yeah, I mean, basically, I think it becomes more difficult now anyway, because the older you get, you don't want to repeat yourself and you don't want to do the same old stuff. So you kind of, the quality control bar gets a bit higher and higher, and it just kind of gets a bit more difficult to get getting anything out there. Or you also lose the ability to surprise yourself over the years, and that happens less and less. So it takes longer, that's all.
And where did you work on it? Do you work at home these days?
I did a lot of it, yeah. In my, I had a studio and a barn just outside a little village in Essex, and I did most of it there. I did a little bit in my basement, and did the rest of it at Abbey Road, about the last sort of third of it. I guess.
And did you work with other people on this?
In the end, yeah, most of it was done. As I said, the first lot, the stuff I did in my home studio was done on my own. But then, yeah, Abbey Road was loads of string players and horn players and engineers, and people actually knew what they were doing.
I'm sure after all these years, you know exactly what you're doing, Nick.
Well, yeah, sometimes there's always room for self-doubt.
Yeah. What about live? Have you been playing live? I mean, obviously not recently because no one has.
Yeah. Well, no, and exactly. Yeah, but I have been. Yeah, over the since about sort of the early 2000s, I've been getting out there and playing, doing a lot of the festivals, and I had a full calendar this summer, which went by the wayside. But yeah, I'm kind of missing it, I must admit.
I mean, will you be when we can, and when all these things are feasible, would you be out touring this? Do you reckon?
Well, yeah. Well, I'll certainly be doing some gigs on the back of it, but the problem is you can't plan anything, can you?
No.
It's pretty much impossible. No promoter in their right mind would actually put a tour together. So really, when we get back gigging again, I'm just going to have to see where we are and whether it's it's the timing's right to do some gigs on the back of this album.
And when you do gigs these days, is it a mix of newer fans and old? Because, for example, I just had an email from someone who says she was there at the filming of one of your videos at Hammersmith Odeon back in the day.
Yeah,
I Won't Let the Sun Go Down on Me. I mean, so there's people who go right back to there.
There are. The faithful still turn up, which I'm eternally grateful for. But they bring their kids now, and then whether they like it or not, and then there's a sort of bunch in between. You kind of scratch your head trying to figure out what they're doing here, and it turns out they've just discovered you on YouTube or something. So there's a big old a stretch of people.
Is the album actually out now?
It's out today. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
It was out midnight last night. Yeah,
So
you can on all formats other than cassette, obviously.
So is there a vinyl of it?
There is a vinyl. It's a lovely, and I was very excited to get it. I sent the test pressing, obviously, so I had to go and track down someone who had a turntable and get it working. And it was a really great experience, I must admit.
Well, look,
Because
I've got a turntable. Send us one.
Yeah, I will do. Absolutely, I'll get it sent to you.
Brilliant.
It's
So
a different experience. Though.
the album is called Oxymoron.
It is, yeah.
Any reason why?
The main reason being I couldn't think of anything else. Is the main reason. But, I mean, usually there's a song on there that says, "Look, I'm the album title," but there wasn't one on this one. So I just a combination of things. I was looking at the artwork and stuff, and the front cover was actually a photograph taken by Mark Fox, who you may know as the bass player in Haircut 100. But it was also did a lot of A&Ring as well for various record companies. But he takes amazing photographs, and just a photograph on the front just sort of, I don't know, I sort of rust or oxidization, and then I thought oxidize, and then I just thought, I do like a good oxymoron, so why not? Let's call it that.
Well, that's what you've called it, and it's out today. Nik Kershaw, as ever, it's always a pleasure.
Thanks, Robert.